Here we go. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this latest edition of, we're calling this the really big deal, because in every episode, I get the honor and privilege of introducing the person who's the really big deal. And we have a really, really awesome big deal today. Someone I work very, very closely with for a number of years. And he's got some really powerful information, some insights that are going to help us and help you, especially if you have anything at all to sell on through social media. You want to get more exposure to your products, your services, what have you. Right now is a phenomenal time to be buying media. The demand has dropped, so the prices have dropped, and the supply is plentiful in almost all markets right now. So my name is Brian Williams. I'm the founder of a company called Real Appointments, where we guarantee sales appointments for all kinds of business professionals. And we use these techniques that we're going to be showing you, my guest anyway, is going to be showing you today, to generate leads and appointments and exposure for our business every day. And so I wanted to share this with everybody out there because some of you are going to go, aha, I should be doing this in my business right now. And it's a really, really good time. So I'm going to bring on my guest, Sergio Chavez. Are you out there? There you are.
Hey, what's happening, Brian?
How in the world are you?
I am good. I am
Okay.
good.
You in the empty office there.
I am in an empty office, yes.
Well, at least
yes.
you're physically distant from people, I suppose, right?
I am. Let's not get into but yes, I am. I'm distant. I'm happy to be here. Thanks, Brian. It's really exciting in the England world.
It's my pleasure, and you know how much I appreciate what you do for my businesses, plural. And I mean, just by way of sort of like how much faith and confidence and support I provide Sergio, or give to Sergio, is when I have a business owner or a client that needs help with their online advertising, whether it's Google advertising, Facebook advertising, YouTube advertising, or a combination of all three, I immediately introduce them to Sergio, and Sergio takes really, really, really good care of my most important relationships when it comes to that. So not only does he run and his team run all of our online media, he runs the online media programs for a lot of our clients as well. So this is a man that knows what he's doing. He knows what he's talking about. So get your pens and paper ready, take some notes. And if you're listening live, please use whatever comment box you have below wherever you're watching this, and we will get to your questions as well. So with that, Sergio, I'm going to turn this over to you. I know you have a video you want me to roll. Do you want me to roll that now, or do you want to do that a little further down?
Yeah, go ahead. So then people get a little idea of who I am.
All right, sounds good. So let's roll a little bit of your video. That way people can put what we're going to be talking about here in context.
YouTube's becoming the new TV, but it's all business dependent. You don't know until you do the research and you run the numbers. But I always try to get or estimate what a customer will cost you to get. We can get those numbers pretty accurately even before running a campaign. We have an ethos in I Love Google Ads. It's composed of 4 pillars. Pillar number 1 is market is king. Given the state of things these days, you can pretty much see through the numbers what the market dictates. I can pretty much calculate demand. I can pretty much calculate what the market price of a customer is. Knowing how to read the signs of the market is the most important thing. So that's why market is king. Pillar number 2 is content is queen. So if market is king and content is queen, whatever you give the market, if the market likes it, he'll like the queen. Pillar number 3 is question all assumptions. And what I mean by that is that you look at the market, you look at the content, and you take an educated guess at what the best thing is. Once the market tells us what works, we question the assumption again. What could work better? And the fourth pillar is double down on what works. Why reinvent the wheel? If you find something that works, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep throttling on until it stops working. So those are the 4 pillars of the company.
Awesome.
We're good. We're good. Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Say that again.
No, I was going to say, I know you're going to be talking about these 4 pillars in more detail today, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, we can take. We can go riff. This is what I do pretty much 24/7, and I already have a small team also doing it with me. We ran about. I was counting about $400,000 in ads last month. We got to spend a lot more in several sectors, especially the survival sector and the gun niche, which we run some stuff for you. And it was pretty exciting. What I like the most, and I see the most. I'm gonna go, but I always, I like to go to first principles, and the first principle in any advertising game is knowing what something is gonna cost you, right? Because if you don't know, then you don't have a business. So you have to know how much a customer is gonna be worth. That's the first thing we go through on the company. And sometimes a customer is too expensive to get online, and you're just eluding yourself if you're trying to do it online. So it's not always applicable for everybody. But given that, I want to share my screen. I can start down with the presentation, right?
Great.
Okay. So we ran this little class a couple of weeks ago. Probably some people that were in that class are going to see it again. But people really liked it. And again, to first principles in advertising, if we want to get technical, we can get technical. You tell me, you stop me as to where you want to go and the point you want to be at, but we'll go down the route. And what I like to do online is I call it the billboard effect. And I use mostly for the billboard effect, since right now social media is a place where everybody is, because all the attention is online these days on the social media platforms. It is a great way to keep conscious that you are there, right? Which is something you're doing. I see you're doing very, very successfully, Brian, through the content you're creating. But how does it apply to us mere mortals that run any brick and mortar that are not Brian Williams? So I think that's what we're going to address in this talk. Let me see. So. All right, so that was the video. Let's change the slide. And the current state of things right now is that the price for online ads is down. I'm seeing about 15 to 20%. That's changing this month. It's more 5 to 10% because more people are getting privy to what's happening and what we're talking about, and the fact that a lot of the stuff now is moving online, right? Still, that was prior to, and it's always going to be the case. Most people are afraid to spend money on ads. That's always an opportunity. I see a lot of people complaining on social media these days. I only get a like or two. And I tell them, well, look at how you look at social media these days. Well, how many things are you liking every time you go in, right? How many things are you sharing? Right now, the name of the game is to pay. So we have a big billboard called Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn, and it's a big community billboard. That's basically what it is. And now, the owner of that billboard has gotten smart, and they say, well, you're going to have to give me a few pennies to be able to post on my billboard. And that's what spending money on ads is. And that's why it's so important to know how much, get that number of what a customer is going to cost you so you can factor it into your business. So people have less things to do and their attention is online. That's more than proven. We've had 8 weeks of being in lockdown. People are still online, seeing even when they can go out, right? Even if they're going out a little more, they're still looking at online for the news.
No, it's a great, your point is very well taken. It's a very, very good time to be advertising, maybe for the very first time, on these platforms like Facebook, like Instagram, like YouTube, because there are so many more people online, And there are so many advertisers that are not advertising right now. So you can swoop in there and be seen just by so many more people for so much less than you could even just a month or two ago.
That is totally right. So people are working more online, and the world is changing. There is no other way about it. And I mean, I'm so respectful to you as to how you have been a harbinger or a lead in this for our community here in Vegas. You've been the poster child of changing with the world, man. I'm like, I see how you're doing, and it's don't take it for granted, man. A lot of people are very grateful to have you.
Well, thanks for saying so.
Around in this crazy billboard called social media.
All right.
So I'm very grateful. Cool. So for advertising, there's two platforms, and the big boys are Google Ads and Facebook Ads. Now LinkedIn is starting to come in the fray, but these guys are gonna keep being the giants for a while. And there's two main differences from Google Ads to Facebook Ads. Google Ads is you are capturing intention, right? So when you're capturing intention, when you look for something, that's intention. The person has an intent to look for something, so that's where you bid on Google Ads. As to social media, is you're capturing attention. So that is, we go back to first principles, that would be the base first principle between these two platforms. So that makes our approach be completely different in each one, right? Today we're just going to address attention because we want to get people's attention, and that's going to be through social media. Is there any questions so far?
No, keep on going.
Okay, cool. So to get attention, with a formula that I use for many clients I have used, it has proven itself so many times in every single industry, including yours, including what we're doing for your company, Brian. It works like gangbusters. I have proven it in the gun niche, in insurance, and with realtors. Right now, realtors I'm doing fantastic with. In the gun equipment niche, it works for everything, even funerals. I don't know if I said that already, but this formula has sold pre-planned funerals online. I can attest to that, to a lot of volume. That so it doesn't matter, because again we go back to first principles. It's a billboard, right? Your social media is a big billboard, and it doesn't matter if somebody has a need or a problem and they find a solution to that problem. They're gonna look at that billboard and they're gonna take that piece of information, call it, or reach out to. So three elements are editorial timeline, number one, and I'm gonna address it and then I'll come back to the slide. What is a weekly editorial timeline? So if you see a newspaper or a magazine or a TV channel, we call editorial everything, all the content that they're putting out in a serial manner, in an expected manner, day by day, week by week, month by month. So the weekly editorial timeline, it's the same thing. Right now, we are broadcasters as businesses, so we are going to create an editorial content, right? That is predictable, that goes out in time, and that goes out in an ordered fashion. So I just said it. It's a series of posts that is predictable week by week, day by day, and these build your brand. I was listening the other day, and they were I don't remember where, but I listened that a brand is certainty, right? Like you, Brian, you're becoming a big brand online. You are certainly, it's certain that we're gonna find Brian making recipes or giving good tips for or business tips or connecting people in the community. That is your brand. That is, I'm certain that as you do those things, that's that conveys identity. So given that, we create 5 different type of postings for the businesses that I run. I usually do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And let's say Monday, we would take on a general product. I don't know, for example, for um, for an insurance company. Well, let me give you some examples here. So, for example, for a furniture company, you post their furniture. For self-help company, quotes are really good. For an insurance company, a tip of the day. So it can move. I mean, it doesn't have to be set in stone, but you can use any. You can use this as a template. Tuesday you can do a useful tip. Wednesday you can do a client testimonial. Thursday you can do brand message. Friday you can take some levity and do something funny, right? Cool. Any questions, Brian?
Keep on going. I will let you know when we have questions. But just one point of clarification is, you in whatever business you're in, come up with your own editorial calendar, right? So whatever makes sense for you, and then just stick with it. It makes it easier to create content, and it trains your audience, as well as in this case, Facebook, with what to expect.
Correct. So I'll give you a couple of examples here live. This has changed. This company has been very, very nimble, and they have changed with the times. So even though we keep the editorial timeline, we are changing with the times. And you can see there's a lot of, they're starting to open. So now that's a relevant thing, and it's like at the day. Look at the reach of that, and that's right now that is organic actually. So you can tell that people want to get out. Then some special news, that could be a tip. Travelers is giving a break to people. More announcements. We're open. This is more of a product type post. And then for Day of Children, that's Day of Children in Mexico. So then they had that because they cater to a Latin public. That's tip of the day. So that is more or less an editorial timeline. I'll show you a simpler one. Let's go in and see furniture. So furniture is a much more simple example because it's your wares. Basically, you're just putting in your wares every single day. So if you're a retailer, just put out whatever it is that you have. Boom. Right? Simple. So that is an editorial timeline, and that kind of takes care of the first aspect of getting attention. The second one is commercial messages, and commercial messages are basically to the point. They're messages that just go and tell people, hey, this is what I do, and come and buy. And for those type of postings, for that type of posting, we have a little recipe here. Let me put it up. And it's basically what we offer. Preferably use a video and put in contact info. So here's a formula. So you put in a simple headline, you show what you do, and then you put the contact info. And here are some examples, right? Boom. What do? Hair restoration program in Summerlin. We restore hair. And there it is, business info on phone, direct to the point. And then this one is in Spanish, but it's I help you pre-plan your funeral and cremation. And that's, people that need that actually call that number or hit the button or get in touch with this person. And then this is another one, call us. This is more branded, the insurance one, but it's also like, it's in the same vein. This is what we do, call us. So that's what a commercial message is. And basically, you're going to be thinking about putting in about 80% of your advertising dollars should be going to these commercial messages. From numbers, what we are seeing these days for a conversation is around $10 to $20 per conversation. So that goes back to what I opened with. What is it going to cost you to get a customer, right? So let's say you have $500 to spend on ads. You decide you're going to say, okay, I like Sergio's strategy, so I'm going to start running it for my business, and I'm going to start getting people to reach out to me on social media. Well, more or less what you're expecting, if you do things right, is to get a conversation anywhere from $10 to $20. So that's the cost of getting somebody knocking on your door and saying, hey, I am interested in your wares. So when people do that, you got to calculate, okay, so out of 10 people that come to my door, how many do I get to close, right? So let's say out of 10 people that you talk to, you converted into one client, and that client gives you $300 in revenue. So you got to go and calculate a little bit back. If it costs you around, let's say $15, for example's sake, if it costs you around that to get 10 conversations, now if it costs you around $15 per person, you're spending about $150 to get 300 back. So if you're going to run a campaign, something that it's in this vein, that's kind of where your mind has to be at, right? Is there anything you want to add, Brian? Any questions?
Yeah, I mean, this is just a super important concept. So anytime you run any kind of paid advertising campaign, and especially now with online campaigns, everything can be tracked, like Sergio is talking about here, right down to the result that the advertising is supposed to achieve. So in this case, if it's a conversation with somebody, you track that, you back it into what you are investing on your advertising. And what you want is what we call a ROAS, a return on ad spend. And that should be profitable, right? It should be and just for those of you that are tuning in now and weren't here in the beginning, today is a great day to begin an advertising campaign or extend an advertising campaign, because there's so much available inventory and the cost has dropped because a lot of advertisers, quite frankly, have pulled out of the marketplace, and more people have tuned in to the marketplace now that they're home, scrolling through their phones and just on social media seemingly 24/7. So it's just a perfect storm for you if you want to drive some business right now for yourself. So all right, keep going, Sergio.
Correct. So then, to come back to the point that I was making, I'm going to show the screen where I have a campaign running for actual realtors right now. Properties are still being bought and sold in this environment, right? So this is what Brian was talking about, tracking. So this is a conversation. This is a person actually putting in, this is a commercial message, and these are people actually putting in their name and that they want to be reached out with information, name, number, and email through Facebook, and they want more information because they're seeing direct commercial messages. Very simple.
Yeah. And look, I talk to a lot of realtors who are, candidly suffering right now, and very few are thinking this way. Very few are thinking about taking advantage of the opportunity that exists for them right now here. And so don't think that, just because you have friends in a similar business that you might be in that are, maybe suffering, or maybe you're suffering. The reason we're doing this training is to open up the possibility for you that maybe this is the right time to make even a small investment into some kind of promotion for whatever it is that you do.
Correct. And that a conversation for these guys, it's costing $7.77.
Yes, that's fantastic. I mean, in the real estate business, I mean, we all know the value of a transaction, right? It's thousands of dollars minimum. So that's great.
So yeah, the math is working. Out of 100 people that do this, because we do get hundreds of leads, the number of deals that are closed are 3. So at an average of $3,000 to $4,000, they're making multiples on their advertising.
Yeah.
For every $1,000, probably $12,000.
That's right.
Still,
yeah, if you sell a high ticket product or service, I mean, this is a perfect time to be advertising right now online.
Correct. And if it's proven, then yeah, by all means. So I wanted to show a live example.
That's great.
Yeah. So that's basically it, so that people can see that the common sense, right? You spend $1,000 in ads and you get, let's say in the worst case scenario, you get 50 conversations. How many sales can you make out of those 50 conversations? And then, you make the math from that and you figure it out. It's all business dependent. But these are very predictable results. This formula has done it over and over and over again. And I recommend it. I mean, we're running it for one of your business. I'm not going to disclose, but we had record sales last month. That's not supposed to happen, right?
I know. Well, we're look, I mean, make no mistake about it. We are doing what we can to take advantage of the situation. And the situation right now is there's lots of available inventory at a discounted rate relative to very recent history. And we have something of value to sell. And so we're going to sell it. So, why not? I mean, so let me ask you this. What's a minimum amount that someone would need to invest in advertising?
I recommend $500 to $1,000. Any small business, $500 to $1,000 will make a massive impact.
Over what time period is that?
Over a month.
Over a month. Okay. So for as little as, I mean, basically what you're saying is like $15 a day, 15 to $20 a day, you can make an impact for your business.
Correct.
That's awesome.
So I'm going to show you here. I have a page that it's the insurance page, and I have a duplicate page. One, it's about the same public, right? And it's the same content. One does advertising and one does nothing. The amount of reach and the amount of engagement is, so this is an example. This is $100 in 1 week. And the reach from one to the other is 80 times more. $100 can get you about 80 times more. And this is boring content. We're talking about insurance. If you have something that's a little more engaging, oh my God, it could be even more. But that's 1 week. You're saying?
Great. Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, it's powerful.
And
we've seen things where we'll spend $20 on a post on our Facebook page, get like hundreds, if not more than 1,000 engagements just for that small investment. I mean, that's priceless.
Correct. So if that gets you one customer back, that's awesome, because you always got to think about that.
That's right.
So the point is, do you want to be this? And I should have changed this slide also. Or do you want to be this? But I mean, there's no other way to show it, right? That's a billboard effect. Where do you want to be the billboard? I know that it's not up above for these times, but I would not like to be that billboard anyways. Not in the desert.
No.
Even if everybody has an isolation in the big cities, I'd rather be that billboard, because I'm going to get to know on.
But here's the thing. We even if we're isolated at home, we're not isolated online. There is so much activity right now. So, it's just think through the logic, right? Everybody is not everybody, but many more people are at home, not working their day job, either because they're laid off or they're just, their business is temporarily shut down. Who knows? So where are they? They're online. They're on Facebook. They're on YouTube. They're on Google, and it is a massive opportunity, especially like you're saying, Sergio, for small businesses right now. What else do you got? How does someone get in touch with you if they would like to talk with you and ask questions more specific to their business on how they can get started with an online advertising program?
Well, you can go to Sergio at ilovegoogleads.com.
Okay.
That is my email. And
Okay.
you can go to ilovegoogleads.com. That's our main website. I know we did Facebook, but that's my branding. I still do a lot of other stuff. So it's Sergio at ilovegoogleads.com. You can email me there, or you can go to the website and we have a little form or that you can fill out if you want to work with us or consult with me. Last time I gave away 2 consults, and they were pretty happy. We got some good results for 2 of your viewers.
Awesome.
So if somebody wants to reach out with me, the first 5 people, I'll give them an hour completely free. I'll go in, and whatever questions they have, just reach out and just put in real appointments on the subject line on the email, and we'll sit down for an hour and we'll help you out.
That's great.
Tune whatever you need on whatever, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Google. We're pretty much.
Yeah, that's great. I cannot highly recommend that enough. I mean, like I said early on, I use Sergio and his team for all of our businesses. We have 3 different companies. We're heavily advertising in 2 of them right now, and I refer him and his team to all of our clients. He is a wealth of knowledge and a servant in that he's serious. He's going to give you his all on those consultations. It's not going to be some sales pitchy thing. If you decide to work with Sergio and his team, great. If you decide to do it on your own, Sergio's not going to be offended. So take advantage of that. That's an awesome offer. Do you have anything else you wanted to add before we close out today's session, Sergio?
No, man, that's it. I just want to, I'm grateful for all you're doing, Brian. I see it, and I'm extremely happy to be your friend and grateful for the opportunity to be here and serve you and serve whomever we can serve, because that's these times just call for that. So that's all I have to say about that.
Cool. Well, it's my pleasure. You've been just a huge help in my company and for the friends I've referred you to. So it's my honor and my pleasure. And I'm sure we'll have you on a future episode, maybe as more people get back to work, which looks like it's starting to happen. So
awesome. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.